Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, chances are, as of you watching this video, you've been hit somewhere in your life with some form of major curveball, whether that is a major or minor change in your relationship, your career, the place you're living, or something else entirely. It can feel like there's this subtle sense that life got a bit harder, kind of like when you're on the last round of Mario Kart and the music gets more intense. That's the kind of energy that has been suddenly expressing itself in your reality. And there's actually a reason, because as of today, as of recording this video, we are in eclipse season. The eclipse portal has been open, which brings fated destined changes your way. So in today's video, let's dive into how you, Sagittarius, will be affected by this eclipse season and how you can align to these energies to your benefit. Hello Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Isabel, your spiritual rebel friend, and today we are talking about eclipse season and how it's going to be affecting you in fall of 2025. So in today's video specifically, I'm going to be covering the lunar eclipse in Pisces, the solar eclipse in Virgo, the other planets that are affecting this eclipse season, and advice for you specifically, Sagittarius, in how you should navigate this month-long plus period ahead, as this can be one of the two most intense periods of the year. The other period being the other eclipse season we had back around March. And I'm going to be talking about how this plays as well into a greater storyline and greater purpose for you, Sagittarius. Now, last final quick notes before we get into your horoscope, Sagittarius. This video will apply to you if you have a Sagittarius Sun, Moon, and or rising. And secondarily, this is just for your Sagittarius Sun, Moon, and or rising. If you want to go deeper into how exactly eclipse season will play out for your unique birth chart and your unique life story, I invite you to book a reading down in the description box below where you can learn more. And final note, I just received my package in the mail today from Otter Spirit, which is a crystal brand, and they stand for protecting both the otters. They donate, I believe, $1 per purchase to the otters to protect them. And they also use, I keep wanting to use the word organic crystals, but well-sourced crystals. And I just got them today in the mail, and I think crystals can be a really great way to connect with the energies that are already present astrologically and to be another way of intention setting. So I'm super excited that I got my Otter Spirit bracelets in the mail today to help me ground into some of the major themes that are present this eclipse season, which is going to challenge us all to really embrace more courage out of fear, which Citrine is really great for, to step into our higher vision, to embrace more faith, trust, surrender, and embrace our intuition, very much an amethyst theme here, and to open our heart into change and to welcome in more love and receiving into our life. Great for Labradorite. Now, they also come in these super cute boxes. I did want to share you guys because they have super cute little messages on the inside, and they give you a card to explain what signs are for, a mantra. There's just so much intentionality in all the product they create. So I'm absolutely obsessed with them. If you are someone, Sagittarius, who likes physical products to help you ground your intentions during this eclipse season, these crystal bracelets can be a really great opportunity for that. I 10/10 recommend them. I absolutely love their product. Not to mention, they're actually bracelets that fit my little wrist, which is a constant problem. You can use the code Isabel20 to get 20% off your order at Otter Spirit, and I'll link them down in the description box below. Now, with that all out of the way, Sagittarius, let's dive into your horoscope, talking about how eclipse season will affect you, starting off with the first eclipse we are going to feel, which is a lunar eclipse happening at 15 degrees of Pisces. A lunar eclipse, simply put, brings full moon energies times 10. And so there are really two major things that can come up for us during a full moon, which is a closure, ending, release, and a receiving renewal reward. The reason both of these come into play is, for example, this metaphor I kind of use. Imagine you are an actor or actress or musician that's been thrown on a dark stage and suddenly the spotlight gets put on you. Do you want to be holding an empty coffee cup, your phone, be wearing that old jacket that is really stained while you're about to do this performance? No, you throw what no longer is necessary and needed for you to do this performance off the stage. And so hence why full moons are both a time for completion, where we can receive what was long awaited, but also a time for us to release what no longer serves. Because to bring things to light to its fullest fruition, we have to release what is taking up unhealthy or taking up space that is not needed to take up space. And so with this lunar eclipse happening in Pisces, Sagittarius, this is bringing completions and endings that you have worked on for the past 6 months. Sagittarius, I invite you to look back to roughly February 27th of 2025, end of February, beginning of March. What were you initiating and intending regarding your home, your family, the people you live with, and the place you live? Chances are you were intending something new here that was more promoting harmony, promoting more positivity, promoting more ease in your life. And now with this lunar eclipse happening on the 7th of September, you can expect fruition of those intentions. The reason I have you look back to that time frame, that is when we had our new moon in Pisces, and the full moon lunar eclipse coming on the 7th is wrapping up that 6-month story, as well as wrapping up the story from the new moon in Virgo that we had at 0 degrees on August 23rd. So you can look back to there as well, because now you're closing out a 2-week theme as well. But given the fact that lunar eclipses bring fated, destined culminations and endings and fulfillment, something major is happening here for you, Sagittarius, in regards to your home, your family, your place of living. Something that is going to bring you more fulfillment in your sense of home. What I love about talking about the 4th house in general is that this concept comes up that we all need to feel at home. Not even just have a home to rest our head, but we need to feel at home. And everyone has a subtly different set of values regarding the home. Now, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, you may be a kind of person who tends to want their freedom, want their space, go out and adventure the world and see everything, or at least live more of a, what I would call simply put, flighty or adaptable lifestyle. But this North Node in Pisces journey with this lunar eclipse now in Pisces reminds you that everyone needs a place to rest their head, and you, Sagittarius, even though you're known to be the explorer, also need that as well. And so with this lunar eclipse in Pisces, you're finally bringing to light, both in mental aha moments, realizations, and maybe in your physical reality as well, what you really want and need from your home, your family, the people you live with, and the place you live in. What can tend to come up during a lunar eclipse like this in the 4th house, Sagittarius, is common storylines I hear is finally moving, finally having your roommates change, finally being able to afford a better house, finally having, feeling like you're on the right terms and expectations with your family. A new roommate coming in. It feels like something is shifting in some regards of home. And again, when we're talking about 4th house and home, it could be the people you live with, your family you were raised with, the place you call home as far as the city, the town, whatever, and also the physical home itself that you live in. Sagittarius, expect to feel a sense of fulfillment and reward in your home life. That's something that you've been working on for the past 6 months. But not only can you expect a change in regards to your home and family, but also, Sagittarius, this may be something that pushes you outside your comfort zone faster than you expect. And the reason I say that is because not only do we have a lunar eclipse happening in the sign of Pisces at 15 degrees, we also have the North Node involved in Pisces and the South Node in Virgo at 18 degrees, forming what is a conjunction to this lunar eclipse. With the North and South Node, the nodes of fate involved in this eclipse, Sagittarius, you can expect that whatever changes, fulfillments, and rewards are coming up for you are pushing you into your higher self. I don't want to say highest self because this is a lifetime evolution that we are all on, but given that this is conjunct the North Node, here are the facts. The North Node is our highest path to growth in this lifetime. Wherever it transits, which is now in Pisces, is our next step on our growth path. It oftentimes feels like when we lean into those traits in a certain area of our life, we're stepping out of our comfort zone. So for you, Sagittarius, with the North Node transiting Pisces in your 4th house as of January 11th of 2025, you feel like you have to step out of your comfort zone to get the level of fulfillment that you want in your home life, with your family, and with the people that you live with. And given that this lunar eclipse is happening conjunct this North Node, means something fated and destined is shifting here drastically. That says, okay, step up to the plate, now be the person you want to be, especially in regards to home. What I could see as a hypothetical example of this, Sagittarius, and apply it as you see fit to your life is maybe there's, as an example, is an energy of a Sagittarius who's been saying, I want to have a better home. I want to live in a home with less roommates, and I need to have this much financial situation to do so, and these are my requirements, blah, 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 blah. And suddenly with this lunar eclipse, all the stars are aligning for that, but you feel this sense of fear of, oh, well, I don't want to. And that's because the universe is saying that was your requirements. That's what you said you needed to make this happen. Don't be fearful. Step up to the plate. Hence why, again, I love these bracelets for this sense of courage and a reminder for courage with citrine in particular. And so Sagittarius, what it can feel like with this lunar eclipse in Pisces is you're stepping out of your comfort zone, and you have to step up to the plate to own up to what you really want. Additionally, not only do we have the North and South node involved in this lunar eclipse in Pisces, we also have a very beneficial aspect to Jupiter in Cancer. Sagittarius, what this means with Jupiter and Cancer involved in your 8th house with this lunar eclipse, there may be some form of codependent relationship that is coming to aid in this change that you're trying to create or that is coming your way in your home life. What this simply means is when we have a positive aspect, these two areas of your life are going hand in hand together. And given that this is such an exact aspect with this lunar eclipse, there could be a strong influence here. Given that this is your 8th house, there's two major kinds of people or beliefs I would see coming into play. This either, option one, has to do with your beliefs around intimate, trusting relationships. Intimate, not just meaning romantic, but how do you share your resources with another? Secondarily, this could be about an intimate romantic connection, either one that's just forming or something that has been around for a longer period of time. Thirdly, this could be a dependent relationship that is like a parent, that is someone who financially provides for you. Some form of your beliefs around intimate dependent relationships or your actual independent relationships is positively coming into play to help you expand and receive what it is you wish to receive in your home life. So be very prepared for a positive aspect with this lunar eclipse. This is a very positive aspect to be having, one where we can expect a sense of emotional fulfillment and expansion. Overall, just during this eclipse season in particular, a planet that plays a strong role is Saturn, because Saturn stations retrograde back into the sign of Pisces. It has been retrograde for a little while, and now it re-enters the sign of the fish at 29 degrees. Now, the first thing I recommend in this regards for eclipse season and thing I would advise is that Saturn can bring up themes of restriction, confusion, power struggle, as well as, though, in the positive, a need to reestablish order, concentration, discipline, and authority. So what I practically recommend to my Sagittarians out there is look back to May of 2025 when we last had Saturn in 29 degrees of Pisces. What forms of structure, discipline, and order were you establishing in your life in regards to your home? What kind of boundaries were you setting and expectations were you setting in regards to your home? What were you doing with your home in May of 2025? Something that was maybe restrictive, disciplined, that required you to be more authoritative, to set boundaries and feel better here. Maybe you were setting certain boundaries with roommates. Maybe you were hunkering down in regards to spending more time at home. Maybe you were trying to keep your home more organized. Something was going on in home in May of 2025. And now you may want to revisit this month, now that Saturn is back here where it was in May of 2025. What Saturn retrograde in Pisces really represents is revisiting forms of structure. And there's another word I'm looking for, but I'm blanking on it. Revisiting forms of structure that could help benefit you and provide you a sense of stability. So Saturn comes into play more with our second lunation of September, but that is overall some things to keep in mind with the lunar eclipse in Pisces. However, as I've just said, that is only one half of the story, because on September 21st of 2025, we are going to have a solar eclipse in the sign of Virgo. So if a lunar eclipse is a 10x extremified full moon, a solar eclipse is a 10x extremified new moon. Every time I say that, it's a tongue twister. Point being, this solar eclipse in Virgo happening at 29 degrees is a new moon times 10. And the themes that come up with a new moon: new intentions, new ways of being, new opportunities, new connections, new beginnings overall. So during a solar eclipse, we can always expect, regardless of the sign it's in, for new opportunities and people to be coming into our life. But I like to note that during a solar eclipse, whatever new things are coming into our life, they kind of go under the radar. It doesn't feel like this sudden spotlight where we see the love of our life. It oftentimes feels like chaos still going on. We're still confused, and it takes us a little while to realize what's entered. But there could be still a very clear, contrasting new beginning. It just doesn't always mean it'll seem bright. I just wanted to note that. With a solar eclipse in Virgo, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this is bringing a new beginning to your career. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, comment below, how has your career been this year? Because overall, I've heard from my Sagittarians that their career, their job has been hectic this entire year. I have heard over hundreds of people, or 100 plus people, say that they've lost their job changed, they've got fired, they quit even. Your career has been quite the unfolding journey. And as someone with a Sagittarius rising, yes, to some degree, it has been very, very intense. Lots of changes going on in the career over this past year since January of 2025. So, with this solar eclipse happening now in Virgo, this can be the opportunity for change, initiation, and new beginnings that you have long awaited, Sagittarius, in regards to your career. This may have been something that you started to experiment with starting August 23rd of 2025 when we had our first new moon at 0 degrees of Virgo. So whatever intentions you set around that time, maybe they're coming back full force to bring you in an opportunity that you've long awaited. You've done a lot of work to release the patterns that no longer serve you in your career, Sagittarius, and now with this new moon solar eclipse in Virgo at 29 degrees, you can expect a final new beginning in your career. The reason I say final new beginning is because this is 29 degrees of of Virgo, not Sagittarius. 29 degrees of oh my gosh, words. We're starting that over, guys, but we're not going to clip it because I'm lazy. This is at 29 degrees of Virgo. 29 degrees is the final degree that we have of each zodiac sign before it becomes 0 once again. And so this is a solar eclipse, it's a new moon, extremified, but given that 29 degrees is where it's happening, there can be this aura of finality to it. What I would see playing out here, Sagittarius, is this energy of you've really worked hard to redefine your beliefs and your behaviors in your career so that you can be more fulfilled here and probably less burnout. And now with this solar eclipse happening at 29 degrees of Virgo, you could get a new opportunity that is here for a long time, and that it gives you the opportunity to change who you are and be who you want to be in your career in a very drastic way. Overall, this solar eclipse in Virgo is a very positive opportunity. It does form an opposition to Saturn retrograde in Pisces. However, I haven't found much of an interpretation for this as far as I don't intuitively feel the energies yet, which I do still pull a bit from that intuitive energy of the event to give you guys your interpretations. All I feel called to share with you in regards to this is that if there's a push-pull dynamic going on in your life during the solar eclipse, remember that's an opportunity to remember that you can meet in the middle and that you're supposed to recenter into yourself above all else outside of hectic changes happening in your reality. So with that all in mind, Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, what do I advise for you in this month plus period ahead of eclipse season? If you just want your key takeaways, what you should remember during eclipse season, this is for you. Sagittarius, overall, this whole month ahead is about your relationship to home and your relationship to career. Where your career thrives and where your home life thrives. Where you thrive within your career and your home. And it's a reminder that for as much authority and strength and power, so to say, that we want to have in the external world in our career, we have to have that much energy and time behind closed doors. For as much as we are seen, we need to not be seen. That is how we maintain our balance. And so Sagittarius, I really invite you to ask yourself in this eclipse season, starting now, what would the ultimate win be in your career life and in your home life? Really get clear, I think, Sagittarius, on what the ultimate vision is. And naturally, Sagittarians, you guys are visionaries to some degree, so really write out that vision of what you would really want here. And keep in mind the need for rest and balance that you innately have, even though Sagittarians are naturally go-getters. Sagittarians, I also recommend you really think about what it would mean to feel at peace at home and feel self-acceptance in your career as well, as these are some themes that are present with this being Pisces and Virgo energies. Overall, I think that's my main advice for Sagittarians, honestly, is really thinking about what you really want from your career and what you really want for your home life, and how can you step up to the plate in a courageous manner to actually create the changes and welcome the changes that you want to create here in these areas of life. Sagittarians, let me know down in the comments below, did this video resonate for you? That is all I have for you today. Did this help you understand what to expect with eclipse season? Are you a Sagittarius experiencing major changes in your career over this entire year, and especially in the past few days? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel and stay tuned for more videos breaking down the stars and more. If you want to find out more about how exactly this eclipse season is going to play out for you, then I invite you to book a reading down in the description box below, where in 1 hour we can dive deep into your soul's unique energetic imprint and how you are uniquely being affected and guided during this eclipse season. Whether you've done a reading with me before or you haven't, these readings are a great time to do them, at least right now, because we have such an intense energy present for us that is aligning you to your soul's purpose. So learn more about readings down in the description box below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I sincerely hope you enjoyed. Once again, my name is Isabel, and from my heart to yours, namaste.